Oh, my word. I don't know what our opponent's doing, but I love it. Greetings, everyone. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you are here. Today's Jank is an historic, and we are we're trying to pull off some wild stuff, folks. We're trying to use Cloudsteel Kirin. 3 mana, 3/2 flying, equipped creature, has flying, and you can't lose the game. Your opponents can't win the game. It reconfigures for 5. That's right, folks. It turns a creature into a Platinum Angel. Well, normally the problem with Platinum Angel, folks, is it's a 7 mana 4/4 flying. And your opponent just says, okay, destroy your creature, and then you just lose, right? Because the creature died. So we're trying to do a little bit of breaking that symmetry here, and using indestructible creatures to get us through that. Rhonas. It's always a creature. It can't attack or block unless you control another creature power 4 or greater, but it's always a creature. So we can reconfigure onto it even if it can't attack, right? And it's indestructible. Oketra the True. Similarly, it can't attack or block unless we control 3 other creatures, but we can reconfigure onto it, and it's indestructible. Toski. Indestructible. Can't be countered. Indestructible. And whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Well, we can reconfigure onto Toski, have it be indestructible, and importantly, give it evasion. It does gain flying, and, you know, your opponents can't win, you can't lose. So hopefully then Toski will also even be able to get in a little extra damage and hopefully draw some extra cards as well. As far as other ways of accomplishing this objective, we have Alseid Life's Bounty to give protection, just a 1-of, but then we have 4 Seasoned Hallowblade. Normally we have the pay a life, or pay 4 life, give your creature indestructible dude. Very, very strong in Historic right now, I think. But Seasoned Hallowblade, you know, you can't pay life you don't have. So if we go way into the negative life and stuff, you can't really do that. So Seasoned Hallowblade, though, allows us to discard cards, and it gains indestructible, so we play around that. And similarly, Paradise Druid has hexproof as long as it's untapped. So if we're going up against a deck like, let's say, has exile-based removal, banishing lights and things, just giving it hexproof is a great way of protecting it as well. Admittedly, then you are susceptible to having it destroyed by mass removal, Wrath of Gods and things. So to play around that, we have Valorous Stance. You can give target creature indestructible until the end of turn. Admittedly, it's just a 1-off, but in those situations, could come in very clutch indeed, and then you may use it also as spot removal as needed. As far as the rest of the deck, some Elite Spellbinder to interact, little Settle the Wreckage to interact as well, and Inquisitor Captain. We don't have a lot of creatures, folks, so that qualify. So Collected Company, we wouldn't have enough creatures for that. But Inquisitor Captain, a little bit different, but similar. We do meet the restrictions of Collected Company. We have 10 of 3-drops, 8 2-drop creatures, and that's right, barely skating in with 23, and we need a total of 20. So this always makes sure we hit another creature, which, again, of course, we're trying to find Cloudsteel Kirin primarily, or something to put on, or Cloudsteel Kirin on. So it kind of gives us a little bit of the best of both worlds without being able, or without having to meet Collected Company's rather onerous restrictions. That said, folks, let's take it out and see if we can win some games. All right, folks, here we are up against Eric. Good luck, Eric. And yeah, I think we're going to keep this. Not a great hand, but it's fine. I'm going to start on Castle Ardenvale and pass. It's tap land. Remember, this is not a plains, so this is only untapped if you have a plains. Opponent goes with Handu Sky Ruins. Interesting. Our opponent clearly doing something trying to go late game. I don't think you deck the 8-drop board sweeper unless things are going, you're intending to go late. All right, opponent goes with Esper Sentinel and Island Pass. Well, let's Elite Spellbinder have a look at our opponent's hand over there. Yep. What have you got? Interesting. Well, going to get rid of that thing and attack. Opponent elects to block. We will discard. I think it's just going to be the Cloudsteel Kirin because our opponent's running a bunch of counter spells and stuff like that. Even though this is the point of the deck and definitely a thing we want to do, we're not expecting this game to end in a way that would be conducive for that working. So, we 1-for-1 here a little bit. Another Esper Sentinel coming down. You got it. Another Esper Sentinel coming down. You got it. And, okay. Elite Spellbinder. Number 2. Alright, Absorb Energy going away. Becomes a 5-drop. We're going to charge in. Yep. Well, we will discard another Cloudsteel Kirin, unfortunately. Folks, we want those cards. And our deck's giving us a chance to do it, but you know, we're kind of expecting to need to go into the air. Oh no, does our opponent get a Doomscar? Come on, man. Okay. Fine. Alright. This could be a counterspell, I suppose. Yeah. Well. Gonna discard the land. Eventually, Inquisitor Captain will help us rebuild, but we want to hold on to the Valorous Stance because this way we can discard Inquisitor Captain. Okay, well, fine. And use Valorous Stance to protect against board sweepers, if need be. All right. Gotcha, Eric. Gotcha. When it finally gets the land, is this a board sweeper off the top? No, it's not. Oh, maybe it was. Okay, our opponent, they had to shock in the land and then realized, oh, we kill the Elite Spellbinder, but we can't kill the Seasoned Hallowblade, right? Because they're going to sweep. So then they just scooped it up. So GG. GG. All right, folks, here we are up against Ouija DeBaldi. We're going to keep it. I wouldn't describe myself as thrilled about this hand necessarily, but, you know, Paradise Druids and Cloudsteel Kirins, that's what we're trying to do, so. Swamp, that can't be good news. Well, Paradise Druid. Looks like next turn we're going to Elite Spellbinder. Almost certainly. Wow, okay. Stormfist Crusader is terrifying. All right. Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, boy. Sarkhan's Unsealing is a terrifying, terrifying magic card. Admittedly, folks, we don't really have a lot of ways of gaining life, so not strictly 0. So the Roiling Vortex is not going to hurt us a ton, but it will hurt us because it's going to deal the damage, you know? The question is, does the Stormfist Crusader just get in? Okay. Kessig Flame Breather gets in. Yeah. Well, these things are fine. Decidedly inconvenient, but fine. Okay. Well. Combat. Elite Spellbinder. We're going to Cloudsteel Kirin and just hold up Valorous Stance for it. Oh, boy. Wife unit. So kind. Brings me some tea while I'm recording. That was very nice of her. Alright, Roiling Vortex. Yeah, we take a damage. You got it. And take a damage. It's -1, and can't block. And then we lose a life. Okay. Alright. These things are fine. Take some damage down to 13. Our turn. Take some more damage. Lose a life. Yes. Tri-Rite Sanctum. Oh boy. Next. Get in. Deal our damages. Opponent drops to 8. So. Now we just attach to Paradise Druid. Draw some cards, lose some life. Ouija DeBaldi has Sarkhan's Unsealing. Take some damage. No blocks. Yeah, we take some damage. We lose some life. Okay, folks. Well, I'm not thrilled about all these things because I don't know what they've got going on there. But we're going to get in. And we've got Valorous Stance to protect our creature. Okay. I don't know, folks. I have no idea what Ouija DeBaldi was doing, but it was wild. Major props to Ouija DeBaldi, for the record. This is not me making fun or, being like, what the heck. I think they were doing a very, very cool thing. Lots and lots of life loss, lots and lots of just generic ticking damage. But it felt like every single card that just kept showing up was, I don't know what to expect, which, again, is one of the things that I personally love about Magic. So, GG, Ouija DeBaldi, I look forward to facing off against you in the future. All right, folks, here we are up against Lewis and Missile. Good luck, Lewis and Missile. We're going to hang on to this. Start on Llanowar Elves. Good place to start. Turn 2, we can Elite Spellbinder, if that appears to be the correct thing to do, or we can Paradise Druid. We don't have our Cloudsteel Kirins, but, all of these things are fine. All right, Llanowar Elves, go. All right, folks, finally. Lewis there, holy crud, deep in the tank. Not your regular average everyday, oh, I'm thinking about things in the tank, but like, holy cow in the tank. Yeah, we're going to take the Quench and pass the turn. So then, next, Elite Spellbinder. Get in. Opponent takes the damage. We're going to Castle Ardenvale and Paradise Druid. Because the Castle Ardenvale, of course, tap land. We don't have any planes. So if we run out the Rhonas, they just Jwari Disruption and ruin our life. So this kind of puts them in a little bit of an awkward spot. They can't Essence Capture either. So now they're thinking maybe Brazen Borrower or something like that, but that doesn't really help much. So opponent just ends up doing nothing, takes a card for the turn. Does make the land drop with Jwari Disruption. We will not make a land drop. Okay. Let's see if Oketra can resolve. Opponent has the Jwari Disruption and Scoops! Folks, I was very tempted, since they made the Jwari Disruption as a land drop, I was very tempted to just attack, because you typically want to attack before casting your spells. But if we weren't going to use this for mana, we wanted to jam this turn with Paradise Druid. That knocks them down to 12, right? So it's very different. But if we can't guarantee they didn't just draw another Jwari Disruption, obviously, that they have those in their deck, so they can draw them. And so we wanted to do that before combat so that we could play around it. And sure enough, feels good, man. Feels good. Lewis, GG. All right, folks, here we are up against Fantastic. And, I guess we're just going to hang on to this. Start on Overgrown Farmland so we can cast a white 2-drop if we draw one. We have the Seasoned Hallowblades. We also could technically draw like an Alseid Life's Bounty or something like that we might want to cast onto. Opponent goes with Snow-Covered Mountain. So I guess we're just going to go ahead and go Forest. Go. Not quite where we want to be, but it is what it is. Opponent goes with Magda. Okay. Well, let's have a peek at the hand, shall we? Elite Spellbinder, have a look. Our opponent's on Maskwood Nexus. I love it, opponent. And Trash for Treasure. Oh my word. I don't know what our opponent's doing, but I love it. These are all great things. Foundry Inspector. Witch's Oven. Opponent gets in, makes a treasure. And no blocks. And, oh boy, that's a good one. So we're going to shock in a Toski because we want to draw a card. We also didn't want to shock in and tell them about Settle the Wreckage, but it also doesn't make sense to, like, cast the Cloudsteel Kirin here when they are likely to do something nasty. So shocking in for our Toski to draw makes a lot of sense. This also stonewalls their Magda, so we don't really need to worry about Settle the Wreckage this turn anyway. Next turn, okay, perhaps, but you know, getting to draw the card and everything, that was a really good draw. We are happy about that one for sure. Opponent makes their land drop. It's an Evolving Wilds into Snow-Covered Swamp. Opponent thinking about it goes with Maskwood Nexus because, of course, Foundry Inspector makes things cheaper. Just going to get in with Foundry Inspector. Of course, we're just going to block. Yep. Opponent gets the treasure anyway because, you know, Maskwood Nexus makes Foundry Inspector into a dwarf. And whenever dwarves become tapped, they get counters, or they get treasures, not counters. So let's attack because, you know, we have to. We don't have to attack with Elite Spellbinder, that's true, but... Alright. Opponent unlikely to want to block with Magda here. Does not. So we're just going to draw a couple of cards. Opponent drops 13. Feels good, man. We're happy about it. We get... Interesting. Interesting for sure. Yeah, we're going to go with Branchloft Pathway and Cloudsteel Kirin. Hold up Valorous Stance. Opponent can cast that Karn the Great Creator here. We don't know what they're going after. It could just be a generic Karn Wishboard, but it also could be our opponent's trying to do something silly, like maybe Helm of the Host Magda or something. Oh, Darkspark Reactor. Okay. Or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control. Yep. Yep. Alright, well, we block. Valorous Stance, make it indestructible. Do you have a removal spell? You gonna use that Darkspark Reactor? Does not. Foundry Inspector goes away, we take 2. Maybe it was better to go the other way, just to get rid of the Magda. But this seems like a reasonable thing to be up to. So we're just gonna get in, draw some cards. Opponent going to drop pretty low on life, but we are also staring down this Darkspark Reactor, which is scary. To be certain. Hey, Boseiju. Exactly what we were looking for, folks. And we're going to go ahead and Oketra. I think we've got to just hit the Darkspark Reactor right now, though. Because next turn, to one target creature. Oh. 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 On it, 2 target player and that much to a creature. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do that now. Darn it. I didn't realize it was creature and player. Just creature. I thought it was just creature, so. Yeah, I goofed, folks. I goofed. That was absolutely an error on my part. I needed to not cast the Oketra yet. But. Opponent just lets it go. Okay. Wonder what that means. Probably going to trash for treasure it back, is my best guess. They lose all the counters on it, though. Oketra can still also block. So, trash for treasure, sacrifice a treasure, get back Darkspark Reactor. Meat Hook Massacre, X equals 6. Wow, was not expecting that. Okay, but folks, we are undaunted, to be sure. Toski. Seasoned Hallowblade. Pass. Opponent now trash for treasures. They don't have Dollhouse of Horrors, folks. It's all coming together. Suddenly I understand. Opponent doesn't have a lot of creatures in the bin, but Magda and Foundry Inspector are both very, very powerful creatures. Magda shows up. Does gain haste. I seriously doubt they want to swing with it yet. I mean, we just block it with Toski. The treasure can't be that important right now. There's no way. Yeah. Alright. So. Attack. We are getting in with everybody. Opponent just takes it, sure. Card. Card. Hey. Elite Spellbinder's a nice one. Gonna make that trash for treasure more expensive. Yep, that's the one. And while we're at it, we're going to slam a Llanowar Elves, and we can use Valorous Stance to either kill something if their Magda gets especially large because of Dollhouse of Horrors or something, or we can give one of our own creatures indestructible, should we elect to do that thing. We're also just 1 mana away from being able to cast and equip our Cloudsteel Kirin. Manifold Key. Okay, so the Dollhouse of Horrors is definitely the plan, and they are trying to do something crazy. Huge props to whatever our opponent's got going on there. Here comes Foundry Inspector. And opponent going to just make a Maskwood Nexus token. I am unsure what direction they're going to go here, because they have options, right? Right, they don't make a Maskwood Nexus token. Yep. All right, well, we're going to block the Magda, because there's no way we get the blowout where it drops down to a 1 toughness creature because of the Maskwood Nexus, you know? So it's just setting us up to lose our own stuff, you know? All right. Valorous Stance. Opponent sacrifices to get a food. We lose a life. Yep. And we're just going to lose 1 more. Yep. Now, does the opponent go for Trash for Treasure or the Karn right now? Spends a lot of treasures if they do. Yeah. I'm not sure if I agree with this. Because the cards have already shown them, only having 1 blocker is not ideal. Oh, okay, I see. But they can Manifold Key and make another blocker if they need to. Oh, but they're doing the Witch's Oven thing right now. Interesting. Well, combat. Just them. Here we go. We're going to discard a Settle the Wreckage to give indestructible. Draw some cards. Actually, this was incorrect, wasn't it? I think we were supposed to cast the Cloudsteel Kirin pre-combat to make them have to gain the life instead. I think that would have been better. I just wanted to draw the cards to make sure that's what we wanted to do at all, you know? All right. Well, I think we are going to attach to Seasoned Hallowblade here, because we can give it indestructible like the Toski, but it also just has more power, so it makes it more awkward for next turn, and we really don't want to have to re-equip on a turn-by-turn basis, because it does cost 5 to equip, or reconfigure, technically, not equip. It's technically not an equip cost, folks. You can't call it equip, because that's not it. If they just pulled Meathook Massacre off the top, we're in trouble, right? That card is... Whew, that's good against us. Opponent looking at their Witch's Oven, looking at our Llanowar Elves, looking at their Dollhouse of Horrors. They sacrifice their Dollhouse of Horrors to draw some cards. I'm not sure why they didn't just sacrifice a treasure there. What is going on? Why would you elect to do that? Bloodline Pretender. Okay. On Construct. Sure. Alright. I'm gonna sacrifice the food to go to 5. Okay. And they've got to gain more life based on what's already on board. Yes. These things. Yes. Alright. We could get a Rhonas off the top and just end the game. Well, I guess not, because they could sacrifice a creature with Witch's Oven. Oh, no. Okay. They can't just sacrifice a creature with Witch's Oven. Because... yeah, interesting. They ran out of mana now. Okay. Well, Overgrown Farmland next. No reason to throw away our Llanowar Elves here. We're just going to attack with the ones we have to. Well, and the one we have to, and the two we get to, as it were. Opponent takes a free block. 6 damage. Opponent going to Witch's Oven. Sacrifice it. Just to make us lose life. Yep, these things are fine. Does make another food. We draw some cards. Access Tunnel. Okay. That could be good next turn. We are going to Paradise Druid. Paradise Druid. Pass. Folks, you might look at this and say, yeah, but now you just lose to Mythic Massacre. I'm not going to lie. Folks, we already lose to Mythic Massacre, right? That already gets us. So we want to set up a situation where they have a very difficult time gaining enough life, right? To get out of this. All right, opponent does cast the Karn finally. Goes to the side. They don't have a lot of mana to work with anymore. They had a billion treasures, but they had cashed quite a few of those in. Now just black, red, and a treasure. Cosmos Elixir, but that's not going to do it, opponent. That's not going to do it at all. They've got to cash this one in to go to 5, and that still doesn't, you know, you still die to the flyers, right? Oh, did I miscount? Haha, how about them apples? No, that's what you get, folks. That's what you get. Still, though, this only gains 2. This is worse. And they scry. Our opponent is currently on the let's hope our opponent doesn't attack plan. And I've got news. I'm going to attack. Sure enough, fantastic. Sure enough, GG. GG. Welcome back, folks. We are back. I am so glad we got a chance to play that. Honestly, the deck was great. I really did not, or don't have anything to complain about there. I mean, I do. I technically had to, I didn't record my first game. I was so upset. It was a really, really sweet match, too, where we were really back and forth, and, you know, it was a good, long, engaging match, and I was like, oh, man, folks, that was a wild one. I look over, and the recording hasn't even started, so I was like, oh, my gosh. So I'm complaining about that, but not about the deck. As far as the deck goes, the deck was great. Admittedly, we didn't face off against a lot of top-tier stuff today, so there's that, but I played a total of 6 games. I won 5 of them. We lost to a green-white Solemnity deck. I don't think we're going to show that one because it did take forever. We were trying to win with the Cloudsteel Kirin still, and then it just ended up we didn't quite have enough of the pieces to be able to win, so it didn't end up happening. But honestly, the game was a bit of a snoozer. We were going to have to edit it really, really heavily anyway, so I don't know. You know, we'll see if we can find a way to edit it down enough. Maybe we'll show it, but the rest of it was very, very sweet. There were a lot of really cool matches. Man, I just loved it. Admittedly, folks, I had several different builds of this deck. I was trying to make it be fun and engaging and interesting, and one of them was involving legendary creatures that were not gods, and then we could make those things indestructible. Well, folks, we don't have any of those in the deck anymore. So Tri-Rite Sanctum, a relic of an old build that, embarrassingly enough, made it to the final build. I would cut this. Definitely cut this. We're not gonna, don't play this card with this deck. It's just a land that does not matter. You know, you might do another Boseiju just to interact a little better, or maybe an Eiganjo or something like that. But don't do that one. As far as other changes you might make to the deck, honestly, I think it played really well. I really can't complain. Admittedly, I didn't see it against enough top-tier decks to know what direction I would take it, but I did have a blast. I might recommend maybe some graveyard interaction. That was one of the things I was worried about going into this game, or into this deck. So maybe some Scavenging Oozes or Lion Sashes or something. But other than that, it was a blast. Would I recommend craft it? Absolutely. It was a great deck. It was a great deck, and a lot of fun to play. So thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all next time.